Finals on June 24th. Experience the tradition on pay-per-view.
Cape Town, mother city of South Africa, in the Cape Province, a beautiful scenic place with the Victoria and Albert waterfront, and there's an aerial view of Cape Town. This city bidding to be the host of the Summer Olympic Games in the year 2004, and indeed lately some reports say that's the favoured city to host the Olympic Games. Cape Town, venue of this afternoon's Rugby World Cup second semi-final. Here's the location. And it's a beautiful afternoon as you join us. Happy Father's Day in South Africa it is, as you join us for this afternoon's big match from Newlands in Cape Town. And you see what a completely different presentation it is today for the spectators and players to enjoy from the very difficult conditions in Durban yesterday when South Africa won their way through to the finals. Today it's shirts off for some and much more relaxed in the crowd before this afternoon's big game. Yes, indeed. Signs here. There are the New Zealand supporters sitting in the crowd, some of them all set for this afternoon's game. It's a very big crowd and a very big atmosphere for this game, and we're getting set for a good one between New Zealand and England. Today the England team bid to play their way into their second World Cup final, and New Zealand trying to get in the final for the first time since 1987, when of course they won the Rugby World Cup. And a lot of fun in the crowd today. It's going to be pretty well a packed house, and that's a very good effort considering there's no South African interest in them playing in this game. The interest is high just in enjoying the rugby and seeing who the opponents will be for the Springboks next weekend. And of course a huge game for New Zealand this afternoon. We'd like to welcome our New Zealand viewers to this telecast today, and also our viewers on Prime Network in the United States, TSN in Canada, RTM in Malaysia, throughout the Pacific, as well as New Zealand. And John Hart is with me. It should be a tremendous game today, John.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really exciting clash between two teams with contrasting styles.
Let's meet the two teams now. Back to John Hart in just a minute. Fullback for the New Zealand team, one of the young stars of last season in this, and his biggest test yet, Glenn Osborne. As for this man who's been one of the real stars of the tournament, Jonah Lomu. Walter Little, the experienced midfielder, will be in the second 5/8 jersey for New Zealand, and Frank Bunce, who's even more experienced, 32 test matches, his second World Cup. Jeff Wilson onto the wing today, forcing out Mark Ellis, the in-form other winger. He's in the reserves today. And an important man in the New Zealand team plan will be Andrew Mertens in number 10, in partnership with his Canterbury teammate Graham Bashop. Today, Graham Bashop playing his 28th test. Into the forwards and back after missing the last game is Craig Dowd in the front row. Sean Fitzpatrick, the captain, will be the hooker today, playing his 67th test match, and completing the all-Auckland front row is Olo Brown. He'll be on the tight head side. Mike Brewer comes into the team as the blindside flanker, wearing number 6. There's the first of the New Zealand locks today from North Harbour. That's Ian Jones. Robin Brooke partners him. He'll be wearing the number 5 shirt. And the open side flanker for New Zealand, he'll be wearing the headgear, the scrum cap, will be number 7, Josh Kronfeld. And the vastly experienced Zinzan Brook in his 3rd World Cup will be number 8. The All Blacks are coached by Laurie Mains from the deep south of the South Island, the Otago province. Now let's meet their opponents today. The England team. Fullback is the transplanted South African Mike Catt, and Rory Underwood, born in Malaya, will be on one wing. Jeremy Guscott will be at the inside centre position, and the England captain Will Carling will be in the outside centre position, wearing number 13. and the second of the Underwood brothers, the scorer of the winning try, if you like, last week here to get through to the semi-finals, Tony Underwood. And there's the man who kicked the winning drop goal, number 10, Rob Andrew, MBE. Halfback is Dewi Morris, 31 years of age. And into the forwards for England, in the front row, here's Jason Leonard, who's the most capped England prop forward ever. There's the most capped hooker ever, Brian Moore, the one they nicknamed the Pit Bull. Victor Ubogu is the other prop forward for the England team. And into the second row, we look at the towering figure of Tim Rodby. You see 2 metres 01, a very tall middle row. Martin Johnson, 2 metres 04. He'll be one of the locks. Look at the height of this man, Martin Bayfield, 2 metres 12. That's 6 foot 10 inches in the old measurements. And Ben Clark, 1 metre 99. A real towering second row for England. And at the back is the vastly experienced Leicester player, Dean Richards. And there's the England coach, Jack Rowell. Excellent ground service, John Hart. You've been down there and had a walk on the pitch.
Yes, the ground is in superb condition, just a little bit soft where the, I guess the shade is, but in superb condition, not much wind. The conditions really are made for the ball to move today, and I guess that's what we're going to really wait to see, because I'm sure the All Blacks will try to move the ball. Certainly they'll put the ball in the air at times, but I'm sure they will be out to speed up the game, to play the quick lineouts, to move the ball through their hands and test this English defence. England, by comparison, we would look, I think, to try to get their dominance through their back three, and Dewi Morris and particularly Rob Andrew. But don't be surprised, in my view, to see them try to move the ball occasionally today, because they believe that the All Blacks are slightly exposed in defence out wide, and that way they may try to attack. If it's not with the boot turning the young wingers back, it may be with quick ball to try and have Tony Underwood running at Jonah Lomu.
So those are the prospects. The match is ahead of us. A place in the final is the reward, and a big crowd here at Newlands. This is the ground where the tournament began just nearly a month ago. A marvellous win by South Africa over Australia. Steph Neethling is here, one of the touch judges today, and down the corridor on that lonely walk, alone with their thoughts, everything's been said. The New Zealanders come, led by their vastly experienced captain, Sean Fitzpatrick. Behind him, Craig Dowd, back in the New Zealand team today, ahead of Richard Lowe. Bashop and Mertens, big Jonah with the 2 little nicks above his left eyebrow, which look like number 11, which is the number he wears on his back. There's the England team, they're out first. Sean Fitzpatrick will bring New Zealand on second. Onto a beautifully grassed Newlands field comes Will Carling, captaining England, extending the world record for captaincy in a test match. 52nd time today, and they're all looking very set for this afternoon's game. Temperature 23 degrees. New Zealand players there. Sean Fitzpatrick captaining for the 27th time, but he's the world record holder for most tests by a hooker in the number 2 jersey. That's 67 today. Second highest is Brian Moore, who's his opponent this afternoon. Lots of flags, Union Jacks, New Zealand flags, the England flag, the Cross of St George, and the players forming up now for the playing of the national anthems today. Remember, today's referee, we'll meet him a bit later, is an Irishman, Stephen Hilditch. So now all is set for the playing of the second semi-final, and the formality now, the national anthems. the biggest game of their life when you think about these young guys, and even players like Fitzpatrick who won the World Cup in the past. The last time these two teams met in late 1993, England were the winners by 15 points to 9. There were no tries scored in that game. Players like Zinzan Brook were there that day, and they're getting set for the haka now, and it's going to be led by Zinzan Brook, and there's big John Olomu. Mike Brewer likes to get out on the edge of the haka, and England is going to stand right up on the halfway line and face it. So much of the New Zealand team's hopes rest with Jonah Lomu. There is the New Zealand team with 4 changes, including 1 positional from the side which beat Scotland in the quarterfinals. Wilson onto the wing today from fullback. Osborne is back there. Brewer onto the blind side flank. Dowd back at prop forward. And all is set as we meet the England team. It's exactly the same team that won here 7 days ago in that dramatic quarterfinal victory over Australia. They've gone with confidence with the same 15. Coach Jack Rowell believes these are the players to take England into their 2nd consecutive World Cup final. There's a lot of crackle in the air, John Hart.
Certainly is. It's a tremendous atmosphere at Newlands. The All Blacks are a very focused looking team today. The haka was done with real feeling, and no one did it with more feeling more than Jonah Lomu, and he really took it to the Englishman, and he'll be the player they'll fear. He'll be the player that is really, he's the player that set this tournament alight. And if he can get it right together today, if he can get the ball in hand and make the breaks at the speed of a loose forwards, which could be a crucial factor to a All Black victory this afternoon.
There's the New Zealand reserve camp there. Mark Ellis second in the back row there, particularly unlucky to miss out. But some nervous young men there awaiting the outcome. They've said they can do no more, John.
Yes, I was talking to a few of them just before the game, and Strawn was saying he thinks the preparation's being as good as they could have got it. They've done it well. They're well prepared. Lucky to go into the game without injuries, and they really haven't had a bad run with injuries, which is very important in a tournament like this.
Belfast headmaster Stephen Hilditch is today's referee. His touch judges are Frenchman and South African, Joel Dume and Steph Neathling. Dume to the near side, Neathling to the far side. So it's a truly international panel here this afternoon as we get set to go. So a quiet word there from Steve Hilditch. So away they go in the 2nd semi-final, and straight away it's kicked to Jonah Lomu, and there's a fumble by the England team, and Walter Little has got New Zealand away to a good start. And there's a bit of holding back on Frank Bunsen. Did the referee see it? No, it's a knock-on by England.
Excellent start by New Zealand. They caught the Englishman napping. They played the ball to Jonah Lomu's side, and a mistake by the English backs. All Blacks attack.
Zinzanbrook is the number 8 forward. Number 9 is Graham Bishop. Out it goes to Mertens. Long ball out to Frank Barnes. It just went past Osborne. Here's Wilson, number 14. Good, confident beginning by the New Zealanders. Just a pass astray in the back line. But it's a positive attitude. And maybe the wingers like Lomu and Wilson are going to be in the action all day.
Excellent start by the All Blacks, trying to get the ball on their hands. Good clearance from Mertens and Bishop. Bunch trying to make the outside gap. Vital lineouts.
Now, can New Zealand win line-out ball? It's one of the big question marks. A lot will depend on the throwing of the captain. Can he get it on the calls to the designated man? And can they keep the game going? Fitzpatrick throws. Ian Jones got the tip. Bishop. Mertens have a good pickup. He was a bit of a clean out there on Andrew Mertens. Guscott. Osborne is there. England now, a bit of erratic play there by Osborne. New Zealand goes back to halfway. And now Bishop to Mertens. Tremendous run there by Mike Brewer.
Support. Takes the ball, he works Osborne, and then Osborne put on the gas. He goes to Cat, he gives the ball inside to Little, and Little plays the angles well. Gives it to Osborne, held up, but the Kronfeld is there in support to get the try.
They're on their feet in the New Zealand camp. Well, Norm Hewitt is. They surely can't believe this either.
This is an absolute dream start for the All Blacks, but they're breaking the English defence with hard physical running.
John, they must show courage and daring and discipline in playing this game. The discipline looks to be there. The courage and daring already well displayed.
Yes, they really are controlled. They're in control at the ball, and they're backing themselves, and that's what they've got to do. They've got the ability to do that.
As cold as ice is the young man from Canterbury. And look at the watches. 6 minutes gone. New Zealand 10, England 0. Kronfeld's try is converted. New Zealand 12, England 0. Kronfeld's try is converted. It's a sensational beginning by the All Blacks. But hold on. This is a very talented and experienced England team, and Andrew has drop-kicked for goal from where he kicked last week, just about, and this time it's a miss. Now, he's the key man behind the England team when they do get into this game, with that very sure, geometric kicking game, which we know so well from Andrew, with all the experiences he has in his 68 test matches so far. Mertens kicks deep. Morris is number 9 at halfway. Richards, they're holding it in the field of play. Ubogu into Fitzpatrick. Now here's where England is strong, but they're down by 12-0. And Rodber is dumped by Zinzanbrook. And Morris has it again. Interesting, John, we've had all this play. No penalty yet. It's a standard practice in rugby. There's a couple of penalties in the first few minutes.
The referee is controlling well and not looking to blow the whistle. He's giving the players the opportunity to play the game.
Lomu a try, Kronfeld a try. A wonderful conversion by Mertens. 12 points to 0. And there is the first penalty. And that's against Graham Bishop. He was ahead of the back feet. Somebody is down here in the New Zealand team. It's Kronfeld.
Interesting that early on you've seen the English focusing their attack on Andrew Mertens occasionally. Rodber firstly ran through him, and then from that scrum set move, Carling was given a short pass and ran straight at Mertens, trying to upset him and win the ball. Blair Larson warming up. Heavily bandaged leg, has been in doubt all week. Kronfeld, who's been a very important player for the All Blacks in this tournament, he's up and limping back into position. Rob Andrews will have a long kick for goal to try and get some credibility into the English team.
Just a bit of concern about the hamstring there of Josh Kronfeld. So this is a straight kick for Rob Andrew. You saw that statistic, 378 points in Test rugby. Comes in with the crouched approach, and he has hooked that badly away. Now that is a surprise, and that's an indication that that early start by New Zealand is putting genuine pressure on some of these crafty and experienced England players. 11 minutes gone.
Bad miss for England, because they really must get points to stay in this game.
Keeping them guessing. The referees just said hurry up. And so Mertens this time kicks it deep, and it's an awkward bouncer. And it goes to Tony Underwood. Here's his first chance to run. He sights Salomu and then perhaps thought better of it. That's what it looked like. Kronfeld has ripped in hard there. And there's a penalty against Moore going over the top. Johnson. Martin Johnson, number 4. There he is. He once played for the New Zealand Colts, Martin Johnson, when he came out and had a season or two in the King Country.
Yes, I had the privilege of coaching him in that year, and he's certainly grown to be something very, very strong in the middle of the English pack since those days.
So it's going to be a chance for goal for Andrew Mertens. Well, the All Blacks hit England with a firestorm right from the start. When the referee turned, you saw the referee turn at just before the kickoff and speak to Mertens. He said, "Which way are you kicking it, lad? Is it just a standard kick?" And Mertens said, "Yes, sir." Then when the whistle went, he promptly kicked it the other way. So they were giving absolutely no secrets away, the New Zealand team, not even to the referee, before the start. There's the score up there, and 11.5 minutes gone. So Mertens is well and truly underway, and the New Zealand team now continue to shock. The England team are now down by 15 points, and can you believe it? Nobody would have picked this, I dare to say, that New Zealand would be better than a point a minute after 13. So that's, you see where the sun is on that side of the field. It's difficult to catch there, and they've lost control of this one. Accidentally offside.
England looking to get some momentum from that kickoff, but made the mistake, and now it's the All Black ball inside their own 22.
Mertens, big thump, good save, not a great kick, not going for too much distance.
Very important, however, to hit touch, and he's done that. Kicked 2 very important goals in this first stages of a game to really give New Zealand a really demanding, a top start.
Referee Hilditch insisting on the gaps. There's Johnson at the front. 2-4-5-3. Behind him is number 5, Bayfield. 6 is Rodber. 7 for England is Clark. 8 is Richards. Tapped by Rodber. Ubogo. Now, was that a knock on? The referee says it was not forward, so Morris gets it away again to Andrew. And there's the first test for Osborne at fullback. Carling coming on him. Osborne took it well. Where's the ball going, though? It's on the New Zealand side. Bashop makes the clearance. And that's a good one by Graham Bashop.
Now, Outstanding play by the young fullback there. He had a very difficult take. Gus got challenged him in the air, and Osborne equal to a challenge. Not only did he make the catch, but he fell in such a way that his forwards could win the ruck ball for Bishop to put it downfield into the English half. An excellent clearance.
So halfway line slightly to the right for the throw by Brian Moore. Cronfeld is number 7 for New Zealand. 6 is Brewer. New Zealand are going well at line-out time. They've got that one off the England throw away to Mertens. And there's New Zealand's high test for Mike Catt. The referee has his hand out for an advantage. And the referee is saying that the player was attacked in the air in the tackle.
Was certainly correct in the call when he was playing the advantage to see whether or not England got anything out of it, but Catt was taken out of the game.
Andrews safely to touch on the far side. They're not playing much over near the cameras. There's the time gone, coming up to a quarter of an hour, and 15 points on the board for New Zealand. Lomu has seen the ball just once. What a try that was, followed by the brilliant 80-metre dash by New Zealand, and Cronfeld touched it down in the end. 15-0. This is a shock start by New Zealand. I would venture to suggest nobody would have picked this.
New Zealand have started very well at line-out time, which is a vital part of the game for them.
Bayfield, Morris, Andrew, Guscott, Clark in midfield. And this is a very big England pack. And they have it. Morris has come out with the ball. Andrew, a long angled one. Now this is the one they think they can get behind Jonah Lomu, but Osborne has it covered. And Jonah's going to have a run or a kick. Boom, he's put a big hoop on it. And it's gone to Catt. Catt again. And that one is way wide. And so there'll be a line out back where he kicked it. That's out on the full. Mike Catt, who went to England on a holiday. He's never been on the losing side. 15-0, 16 minutes gone. Now Steve Hilditch wants to speak to Sean Fitzpatrick. So that was about a little scuffle taking place in the middle of the field while that last kick down to Lomu's wing was happening. The referee just says to Fitzpatrick, quieten it. Johnson's got that one off the New Zealand throw. Fitzpatrick throws through, gets Morris. Very efficient England pack.
Referee ruled that there was a ruck, neither side going forward. He's given it to the attacking team, so it's an English scrum. And this is where the All Blacks will want to put some pressure on. First opportunity, Ubogo under pressure on this side already.
Here it comes, up and under. Offside. Well, that was the one that was heading for Jonah Lomu, but it never got there because the referee pricked the offside. It's a penalty for New Zealand on halfway. $15 points to 0 if you've just joined this telecast. Not even a quarter of the game gone yet. So they're going for touch to get the line out throw in. Nice little kick by Mertens, just gains about 10 metres, and now New Zealand's line out tactics will come under scrutiny again. So far in line out ball, it's 3 to England and 2 to New Zealand. And that's the vital part of the game. On the New Zealand side, Robin Brooke is very athletic, lock forward, and Andrews getting in the way there. Referee says play on. Johnson. Bishop gets across. A knock on, England scrum. Well, now the game is settled in. The England pack are working in a very vigorous way, but that early points advantage means England are going to have to work doubly hard to get into this game.
New Zealand line-out working well, Keith. I mean, that was a magnificent jump at the back by Ian Jones, and Robin Brooke capitalised on it to drive the ball into the mid.
It's Ubogu against Dowd on the near side. Morris. A little one out towards Rory Underwood. Jeff Wilson is back. Oh, lovely push by Wilson to Osborne. Osborne to Brewer. And they are playing with confidence. That was a nice little delicate push by Jeff Wilson. And there's a nice kick by Bashop, which Cat has to use soccer skills. Robin Brooke then puts a big hoop on it. And look at that one, having the England players going back. Slide kick by Ben Clark. Zinzanbrook, he's trying a drop kick from a million miles out. What a goal! What an amazing points. Jonah Lomu.
Well, another brilliant piece of rugby from the All Blacks that is playing the game at such a pace. Look at the pass from Zinzanbrook. Lomu had to beat Andrews, and Andrew was beaten, and Lomu a clear run into the post. But again, the All Blacks from their own 22 showed their ability to attack. Went down the flank. Wilson did it very well, and it was in Zinzanbrook. He can drop kick, but he also passed the ball halfway across the track to give Lomu a clear run in for another try. And the All Blacks are absolutely on fire, and none of the backs in the English side can tackle this black machine today.
$25 points to nil. The biggest losing margin England has ever had in a test is 27. Jack Rowell looking, well, composed, I suppose is the best word.
Shattered might be another.
Andrew kicks out. It's 25-0. 25 minutes gone. It's still a point a minute. And what a great game Bashop is having. He never does the same thing twice in a row. Wilson and Rory Underwood. That was a good run down that wing a wee while ago by Jeff Wilson. Lomu, though, is awesome on the other side. Morris. Andrew. Osborne coming forward, so is Guscott and Cat. "20 metres out. Bashop again. A deflection by Rodber. By Clark, number 7, and there he stands off. This is just 15 metres out. It comes to Clark, but they're fumbling. Now, did Andrew go behind a player then? He's kicked towards the corner. Wilson's got it covered.
The English look to me to be disorganised. They really don't have any fluency. The forwards standing upright trying to win the ball, and Andrew gave himself very little option by putting that one behind the goal line. The All Black pressure is just too much for them at this stage, and they are not responding at all.
Well, you look at these England players, and apart from the size, especially of the middle row, they have great personal statistics and records of achievement in the game. 28 minutes gone. 25-0. And that one seemed to go forward. It's an advantage for New Zealand. Bashop. He humps it to touch on the full, so the advantage is going to apply for that ball going from one lock to the other.
All Blacks playing with such confidence. Mertens to look for the clearance here, or will it be an attack?
Bishop straight to Little for the long kick across field. Cat has got it covered. Wilson is there close by. Mike Cat is known as the runner, and he was scragged by Bunce, and now Moore seemed to protect the ball a bit there. And the referee goes back to an earlier infringement. 10 metres for Bishop ripping the ball away. Morris takes it. They're not going for the penalty shots. Clark. Ben Clark, a big member of the Lions team in New Zealand in '93. Andrew in pass to Dean Richards. To Victor Ubogu. There's the 22-metre line. Morris. A fumble by Andrews. By Andrew. He's having a shocker. 2 big misses, a couple of wrong options, and a clean fumble under pressure there. Rob Andrew, named in the Queen's birthday honours list just 48 hours ago. Rob Andrew, MBE.
Well, he might have been reading the papers a little, because honestly his game is not on song here today. That was the first time you actually saw the English team get a little bit of momentum through the forwards. Ubogo and Richards creating it, and then a very good ruck ball with a try-scoring opportunity on. Still had some work to do, but Andrew has dropped the ball.
Stop in the game. A buzz in the air. Martin Johnson was the injured player. It's going to be a New Zealand put in. Half an hour gone. 25-0. New Zealand leading. 3 sensational tries. Mertens. Cat. And look at that. England are just totally off the boil.
Well, Mertens wouldn't have been happy with that kick, because he did actually go for touch, but Cat has helped it on its way, and the All Blacks as well now get the ball to the line out. Look to Ian Jones at the back. 4-man line out.
Jones couldn't quite get the second grab at it. It's gone to Martin Bayfield, the big policeman. And now Dewi Morris punches his kick towards Lomu. Tony Underwood coming at him. Lomu brushed him aside as though he wasn't there. He goes right through the famous England tackler Tim Rodber. Well, Bishop is keen to maybe take this one, but Fitzpatrick standing there exercising a measure of control. He wants Andrew Mertens to take a shot for goal.
But John Alomu did well here under pressure, pushes off Underwood, and then he sets off, and he takes another 3 Englishmen. First I think it might have been Rodber or Morrison, then it's Rodber here. He goes over the top of Rodber. Johnson comes in with a strong tackle, but critical. The All Blacks won the ruck. He hit the ground, they won the ruck.
Nearly 50 metres out on the angle for Mertens with 33 minutes gone. So it stayed right, and Cat touches down. 25-0, 7 minutes to play till half-time. A disastrous start for Will Carling's England team. Well, they've never played under this kind of pressure before. So turnover there has gone to England.
Watch this All Black scrum. They're really looking to put pressure on Ubogo on this side. All Blacks firstly pushing the shove and then trying to screw the scrum to upset the delivery for the halfback. But once again, they're attacking on this side, and then we'll see if they try to screw. This time it goes down. Referee having a nice discussion with the front rowers, and I think he's at least decided this time the All Blacks have said too much and gone too far down. Morris is urging the English side on, but they're slow to the line out. The All Black camp must be very, very happy with this magnificent start.
More throws. Outside arm, was it, by Johnson? Referee has not ruled on it. You must swing only with the inside arm and a line out on that side of the field. That's your right hand. But they're mauling it now. It's in the possession of number 7, Ben Clark, at the back there. So England have broken free. They're about 35 metres out. Richards rips. So that was against
the penalty's gone against Krompelt. Yes, he was holding the ball as they were trying to get it back finally at the ruck. England therefore starting to try the mauling game to try and take the pressure through the All Black pack, but they're not going to score many tries doing that. And I just don't know whether they've got the armoury or the ability to run the ball consistently. Laurie Mains would have to be very, very happy with his excellent start by this supercharged All Black side today.
Although again, on those coaches' faces, you can read very little into the emotions that must be turning them up. Jack Rowell and Laurie Mains, poker faced there in the stands. Now Andrews had 2 bad misses, but not this time. England are on the board. 36 minutes gone. They have a penalty from Rod Andrews, but it's New Zealand 25 and England 3.
Watching the ball in the air from the kickoff. Mertens will be targeting for Ian Jones, for Robin Brooke.
Now it's on the New Zealand side. Where's the referee saying? Tipped by one of the black team.
Scrums are untidy, Keith, at the moment. Both sides trying to put the pressure on.
Kick coming up from Morris, perhaps. A belated singing of Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And again, it's been taken around too fast. Fitzpatrick having the usual interchange of ideas with the opposite front row. It's good that we discuss things in these important games.
I think he'd be getting the dominant voice in at the moment.
Look at the 2 props there, John, right across the other way.
He has penalised the All Blacks for that, and here's the penalty taken quickly by England.
Morris. Carling. Bit of space here for Carling. Lomu. Tony Underwood. Lomu's coming at him. And Jonah nods at him. That was a lovely chase by Lomu. There was real pressure. 2 of the great runners of English rugby coming at him.
Lomu did well here because Carling put Underwood slightly outside Lomu, and Lomu had to turn and chase, and he's certainly done that. And he's done it very, very well indeed.
Frank Bunce has been called out by the referee.
has claimed that Carling was taken out late. He's played the advantage and calls this an advantage. I'm not sure England would see it as an advantage. A line out to the All Blacks when they could have had the penalty 20 yards back. The All Blacks will want to go to half-time, not conceding any more points.
A minute to play. Zinzan Brook, who got that sensational drop goal, plus 3 tries and Merton's kicks. Knock on by England.
Referee's getting a lot of advice from the English forwards here.
And so we're right on half-time. It's 25-3. The All Blacks lead England. Trouble in the front row. Further exchange of ideas. And they're pointing at Craig Dowd, who might have let go a little rip in underneath. A lot of finger pointing. And the referee, the headmaster, is going to call out the naughty boys. There's no need for that.
He's told he's told both the hookers that he's sure they weren't innocent in it. He's not sure what happened, and he's told the other two to keep their fists to themselves. So he's decided we'll just get on with the game.
And then a little quip just to get them started with, which brought a smile to Fitzpatrick's face. Right on half-time. And again, they crab the scrum across the field.
Penalised Ubogu for going in on the angle. So here is an All Black free kick. Looking for the quick one.
Well punted by Mertens. Back to Caddis. Not quite half-time. Cat, the big thump. Straight to Osborne. And he's claimed a fair catch. Well, a lot of question marks about Osborne, John, but he's had a few problems in the tournament. He's had a very good first half.
He's had an excellent start. I mean, he showed a lot of courage under the high ball, and he's got into the game when on attack.
What a magnificent first 40 minutes by New Zealand. They lead by 25-3. They jog to the new half-time position. England walk dejectedly to theirs. There's the half-time gap. Stay with us. More action after half-time. Well, everybody in the stadium is buzzing with what has been achieved, mostly by New Zealand in the first 40 minutes. John Hart, Jack Rowell has got a lot to think on as he walks out to see his team.
Well, really, the pressure that the All Blacks have put on with the ball in hand has been too much for England to handle. And at the stage, the All Blacks are totally dominant. England really don't seem to have any organisational skills to get out of the situation they're in. Their key players, Rob Andrew, not responding to the pressure. But the All Blacks, the young guns, are certainly playing well. The pack is getting the ball that they so badly need. And now they've just got to come around and start the second half in the same fashion, to keep positive, not to sit on a lead, but to make sure they keep taking the game to the English, because the English defence has been extremely brittle. England camp working through how will they come out in the second half. They would have done all the work all week. They would have talked about how they're going to play the game. They would have talked about the control that they would have looked, how they were going to defend in the midfield. All the things they wanted to do haven't happened. And now the challenge for them. Do they come up with their heads high with a big second half? Can they regroup? All Black supporters ecstatic, absolutely enjoying this magic power. Crowd, I think, stunned to a degree. Stunned in the fact that no one expected this.
So in the half-time break, New Zealand reserves just keeping limber in case they're called into the game. And Strawn to the right, Blair Larson, Richard Lowe. and lots of support from New Zealand in this match this afternoon. So there's the New Zealand coach, Laurie Mains, talking with Stephen Culhane. I wonder what that's all about. John, do you think he might come into the game somehow?
Well, it looks like someone may have a slight injury, and Simon Culhane has been talked to by Laurie Mains to prepare for this second half.
So there's Laurie Mains heading back to his seat. So still half-time here at Newlands in Cape Town. And you can see that so Jack Rowell heading back to his seat as well, and under real pressure. England have 40 minutes to try to close this enormous gap New Zealand has on them. So you can see, I think, by the looks on those young people's faces, they're not happy with the scoreline at the moment. So the second half begins from Newlands. Rugby World Cup 95 second semi-final. New Zealand leading by the massive and surprise scoreline of 25-3. Offside play early in the second half. And the New Zealand captain is on the deck and sloting it up, Sean Fitzpatrick.
New Zealand showing excellent control at that kick. Robin Brooke is really a master in the air, and he took control of it. And Johnson offside round the edge of the ruck. Good start for New Zealand. Want to keep this positive attitude to the game through the second half.
One thing we've got to say, John, is that apart from those breaks where the New Zealanders got the tries, England have shut the game down a bit in the last 20, haven't they?
Yes, but done nothing about it, Keith. It shut it down, but not for any purpose.
120 kilograms of prime lean Kiwi beef, and he's in for 3 tries.
Brilliant display from the youngster, but there's some really good lead up here by Walter Little. And then Josh Cromfeld reads it brilliantly to clear the ball wide to Lomu, who's in space, and Carling can't bring him down. Excellent start from this All Black side, and the machine has started again. The sensation 5 World Cup.
Can they scramble something here, cobble something together in this hour of disaster against New Zealand? Here is a kick by Mertens, which was a bit rushed, but the bounce is interesting. And Mertens has got it. Basham now to Zinzan Brook, and he's hooked that one out on the full. Would have been interesting if it had gone to Fitzpatrick's hand there.
Such skill and confidence with the All Blacks. They really are taking him. And there was another display. Underwood and Cat letting that up and under bounce in front of them and nearly giving the All Blacks another chance to score.
30 points to 3. Back on the New Zealand side. A backhander. This time Zinzan can put the kick out on the full. The lineouts in the first half were very even. With that one going to New Zealand, they're all set square at 6-all, and the penalties were 6 to England and 4 to New Zealand.
Ian Jones has had a magnificent line-out game. Now, he had some question marks about his performance against Scotland, but boy, as he come up trumps here today, he's getting some very vital ball for the All Blacks.
Rodber, Morris, Andrew, Guscott. The tackle was little. No, it wasn't. It was maybe Bunce. Montfeld, I think it was. The penalty is for going over the top. And they've taken the tack. And there's a head high by Lomu, which might be punished. Joel Dume has the flag out and the trouble on the far side. Well, the crowd is chanting off, off for something the referee saw originally. Referee Steve Hilditch of Ireland, a penalty for England. It was for the head high by Jonah Lomu on Tony Underwood. Now, they took a tap previously, and they're going to take a tap again. They're looking for 7-pointers. And they're not going to get them when they fumble like that. Ubogu lost it. New Zealand over the top.
Well, clearly, an English side that are not used to running the ball are going to have trouble because those skills are just not there. And there they looked to bring their big forwards into a set move, set penalty. But it went sadly astray, and it's given the All Blacks a scrum.
Another big drive by Mertens finds Cat. Osborne lets it bounce behind the goal line.
England can't win doing that. No point in just kicking over the goal line and giving the opposition the opportunity to have the quick drop out.
A charge down there, went over the 22 minutes, now come to Basham, and they kick it out. England have got no shape, have they, John?
Absolutely no pattern to their game. They don't know how to attack from the back. They're not getting back in numbers, and therefore just kicking aimlessly. Tap penalties, not organised. They really look a very, very ordinary side.
There's how even the lineouts are. Moore, Dean Richards. Some of these guys have a lot of football. Bayfield going high there. His 26th test match. Dean Richards is 45th. But being cleaned out here at the moment by 30-3. And no edge in the back line to offer as yet. Carling, Tony Underwood and Lomu again. Lomu had him in control all the time.
Excellent defence. John Lomu, as Underwood put outside him. He didn't get phased. He sat with him. He let him go outside, then grabbed him and threw him into touch.
Not a pretty tackle. But
very effective.
Effective, and Lomu's had a dream game. 3 tries. Millions of words have been written about him, and I guess all the writers here in the thousands will be looking to their laurels to come up with new stuff to describe this power sensation, this runaway truck in the New Zealand back line. Well, he's well offside.
Excellent line-out take from Robin Brook then. Again getting control for the All Blacks. Well, there's not many people in rugby that are going to be able to stop John Alomu, and I'll be interested to see what the South African winger Small has to say this week in the preparation going to the final.
There's Clark disrupting. Little swings it clear to Bunce. Bunce decides to take the tackle, but rolls into a good position. Wilson, Bashop, a little left foot push ahead. Cat. And again, that long drive by Cat, which is going to be comfortably fielded by Frank Bunce. Walter Little. And that's how well it's going for New Zealand at the moment. And you see those black caps there. They're from New Zealand support groups, and they're delighted with the play of Walter Little and others. There's a rugby club in Port Elizabeth called the All Blacks Rugby Club. You remember the story of them coming up to see the All Blacks in Bloemfontein? I'm told by them, the team organiser, that their numbers have gone up from 210 players to over 500 since the game in Bloemfontein. And some of them are here again today to support the New Zealand team. Complaints from both teams at that line-out time. It's gone to Richards. 22-metre line there. Andrew, a high kick. Wilson coming forward, so is Guscott. Well taken by Jeff Wilson. A good confident take. Remember early in the tournament he was tipped up and fell on his shoulder very heavily. Bashop, the narrow side. That's Clark with Cronfeld going over the top. It's there for, well, it's buried tight. Rory Underwood. Andrew, again offering only the high kick. Zinzanbrook. It was Fitzpatrick, in fact.
Well, I think the English have decided that rather than kick deep now, they may start and kick, just put the ball in the air, but really, they've got no chase. They've got no enthusiasm for the game. It's been taken out of them by this black juggernaut here today.
Black magic, John.
Certainly.
We've heard that before. No change to the score. Just the Lomu try in the second half. 25-3 it was at half-time. And now it's 30-3 to New Zealand and half an hour to play. Rook. Bashop. Pop to Wilson. He's outside his man. Osman. Bashop. Bashop away. 35-3. The hits keep on coming.
And how pertinent to me that Graham Bashop is the try scorer. He's had a sensational game. He's put away by Zinzanbrook. He gets into space, throws the ball over to Wilson. Wilson does the work. He's got Osman in support. Osman takes the last man, and Bashop has no one next to him other than a clapping Mike Brewer as he goes in untouched.
Look how he
Osman does it well.
Cradles the ball, John. You watch.
A well-deserved try. Graham Bashop having a very fine all-round game. He is manipulating the attack from behind the scrum. He's been, to me, one of the very, very fine players of this tournament. Doesn't get a lot of recognition, but he's certainly showing it today.
Listen to the hum in the crowd. Mertens away. 35-3.
England are just too slow. Every one of their forwards, I mean, that was a back row move, and their loose forwards got nowhere near their defensive call.
And Bashop cradled the ball like a little baby as he ran to the line. Andrew kicks out. 5 tries, a drop goal. 8 points from the boot of Mertens. 35-3. 28 minutes to play. This is a sensational result as it stands at the moment. Cat. Andrew bounces it to touch again. there was nowhere for England to go.
Well, that is you know, two things there. They lack ideas on attack, but excellent defence by New Zealand. They covered the ground, they covered the holes, they got into the space, and they said to Andrew, you got nowhere to go but to kick for touch.
Jones and Bayfield, tall timber of both sides. What a jump there. Lifted. Well, he seemed to be in the clear to me, but Morris. Ubogu, 10 metres out. This is England's best position for a while. Clark, two defenders on him, Little and Olo Brown. Morris here, Ubogu. Thrown down by Kronfeld, still presented for Morris. Craig Dowd is going to be called out by the referee. Craig Dowd is protesting that one. The referee said he stamped on a leg. It's a penalty for England. They're going to take the tap. They're still trying for the big 7-pointers. 35-3 down. And look at the way they're all down, facing it. There's a nice little kick by Morris. A good move. Knock on and goal. 5-metre scrum.
Seen that move used before. I can't understand the ruling.
Surely this should be a dropout.
Knocked on, and he's given the scrum to the All Blacks. All Black scrum really taking it to England. Concentration on their places. They're not easing at all. They're keeping the pressure on the English scrum.
Look how low they are in the second row. Brewer comes up, pushing hard. And Mertens makes a kick down towards halfway. Cat has it. Cat banging it high. Osborne has a ton of time here and claims the fair catch. Well, it's been said about that England forward pack. They're so big, they block out the sun. Not today. A slow shake of the head from the man in centre screen, Jack Rowell.
That, in fact, is the territorial advantage in the second half. It's been poorly used by the English. Tap kick, penalty against the All Black forwards.
Clark and Rodber, 22-metre line. Martin Johnson, Ben Clark. Referee's call for a scrum.
Great defence, New Zealand. They were under pressure then. 3 charges through the forwards. Clark's body was a little high as he went in towards the post. We'll keep an eye on it. But there were plenty of black jerseys there to hold him up and to make sure that when the ball went down, it was down on their bodies underneath. What can they do? Can they construct a try? Will it be a blindside move with their loose forwards? Or will they try to spin it to the left to Andrew?
Clark has got, Rodber's gone away to the right. Rodber gets it now. Bad pass. Osborne a little knock on there. A teensy knock on. A scrum for England, a metre short of the line.
again, but England just failing to do the basics of controlling the pass then on that blindside move. Something new going to happen for an English backline. They're going to have to do something out open.
Rodber crashing for the line. Well stopped again. Cornfeld paying the price for that one. Andrew. Guscott. Cat. Caught again, short of the line. Morris. Andrew. Richards. Hooked back on the New Zealand side. Now it's gone to Dewi Morris. Underwood. And they've got the try. Rory Underwood. But there's no celebration.
Consistent pressure there from England. They finally got the try, but I'll be interested to see the replay, because I thought Underwood might have gone into touch. Morris has thrown him a long pass. He gets hit in a tackle by Osborne. It's a matter of whether he gets his ball down, and I'd say he's clearly in touch first.
So a bit of luck running England's way with a try to Underwood. His foot was over the sideline before the try was down, and so a bit of luck has gone England's way. 35-8, New Zealand lead the kick to come. And that's a fine kick by Andrew, and it's 35-10. England have scored their first try.
The All Blacks won't be happy with the English getting that try, because that's their pride in their defence, and they have defended magnificently today, but finally numbers, they were outdone for numbers, and Underwood got the try, although clearly his foot in touch.
And there's a little mistake by Mertens. Now this surely will be a signal to New Zealand that they've got to tighten up and maintain their discipline. They've played with the courage and the daring, but the disciplines must be maintained. 3/4 of the game gone.
They've split. England have split both sides. Whether they'll use Carling to the right or Andrew, Cat and Guscott to the left.
Fumble by Rodber, advantage for New Zealand. Zinzan broke it halfway. Cat coming across. Good bounce by Brook.
Great skills by the All Black number 8. Might have hurt his leg then when he got tackled, but great skill. Basham did very well then, getting in and interfering with Rodber's ball. But I do think Brook might be having his problems with his leg. He signalled towards the bench.
So Larson may come into the game. Basham. Mertens straight to Lomu. Lomu to Little. Cronfeld and Brewer running fast to join. That was a slick move and a lovely pass by Lomu.
Beautiful pass by Andrew Mertens. He missed his second and centre, and he hit Lomu perfectly on the outside and had Little coming in support, but that time Carling's defence handle stopped.
Here's Blair Larson warming up. 22-metre line. Robin Brooke's been called out by the referee. Robin Brooke has been called out for some incident there. Fitzpatrick as well. An official caution for a punch thrown from the second row by Robin Brooke, which hit a prop.
But unfortunately, I think it was a black prop he hit.
An All Black prop. And So there's been a couple of cautions issued. Well, look, they're claiming there was a headbutt by Brian Moore in here. So there's Brook, number 5. You see him towards the left. Well, the result of the game is on the scoreboard. No matter what happens in those close quarter exchanges, it's all there on the board. 35-10, 17 minutes to play.
Zinzan certainly in trouble, I think.
So Brook is, well, it doesn't look too serious. What a drop goal that was. That inspirational drop goal that pushed New Zealand out to 18-0. And this fine All Black leaves the field. And Blair Larson, once Brook has been cleared by a doctor, will come into the game. And look at this. Little secret's being passed over to Larson from Paul Henderson, who is sitting up in the stand next to Laurie Mains. Guscott. Mertens makes the stop. So you'll see number 19 come on now, Blair Larson. And so he's going into the side of the scrum, and Mike Brewer heads to the back.
England again with a big open either side. What are they going to do? They've made the space on the right.
And Carling's left it behind. And Tony Underwood makes a dash. And Robin Brook tackles. And Dewey Morris goes hunting. Morris. Richards. Rodber. Morris again. Frank Bunce envelops him with the tackle. It's gone between Brian Moore's legs to Basham, to Larson. Little. Basham again. Osborne is up. Jeff Wilson. Inside Rodber. Osborne again. Osborne. And Wilson's forward pass. Some of the reputations of the England tacklers are in tatters as a result of this kind of running.
Well, Osborne made a brilliant run, but maybe he should have passed inside, because I'm sure a try would have been scored had he cleared the ball inside. But this English team, they've had to tackle and they haven't made them. Brian Moore, I think, looking back to that ruck, will be on a Minty's ad for sure, as that ball went between his legs while he stood there.
Back to the kick, the clearance. And up at the other end of the field, way out of the picture, there's a disturbance. Someone is on the field. And there's about 20 policemen coming in to take away a streaker. And that might be the first streaker of Rugby World Cup 95. Now the referee has quietly expressed an opinion to Sean Fitzpatrick. What a disappointment it was. He says it's always a man who streaks. And look at them with Zinzan Brook at the ankle. The ice is going on. There's another match to be played, perhaps. Robin Brook. Outside arm is called that time by referee Hilditch. Tim Rodber. Clark, Richards, Bayfield, all the big ones in there. Andrew, Carling. They've got the bounce there. Rob Andrew again. Clark. They scored 4 of the last 5 tries in the game. New Zealand scored 6 tries and 2 dropped goals. 45-29, what a result. And so in the next weekend's play, it'll be South Africa against New Zealand. The dream final that this country has hoped for as they host their first ever World Cup tournament. Desperately disappointed England players came to the sideline and sportingly clapped the New Zealanders off the field, offering them their congratulations. It was as much as they could do for a brilliant start by New Zealand, a composed middle, a slightly shaky finish, but who's worrying with a score of 45-29. John Hart.
Well, we've just seen a great display by New Zealand, and whilst they've had some defensive lapses towards the end, you would be wrong to even quibble about that, because their power and strength, their magic ability of their backs to score tries, the forward pack, where we thought they might have problems. You must take your cap off today to the Robin Brooks and Ian Joneses at line-out time, who got New Zealand enough possession. And then the power in the midfield, Walter Little consistently searching. But for me, the 2 players of the game, clearly John Olomu, who had an absolute brilliant game, attack and defence, and that's a critical thing to say, because if he's had question marks, they've been in defence, but today no. And the others were Graham Bashop, who I thought sparked many of the attacks, was really an enthusiastic supporter of the All Black effort here today. But full credit to the All Blacks. That is one of the better all-round displays of rugby football that you would see. England taken apart, having no answers at the start, responding at the end when the game had got so fast and the opposition were tiring. But I'd only say one thing in conclusion: if you want to run the ball, you have to have an attitude to it throughout the game, and one wonders what England may have done had they came out with an attitude to attack throughout the game rather than only in desperation.
Peter Williams is with Sean
I don't think I've
Fitzpatrick.
ever seen you more content and more happy. That must be one of the most satisfying victories of your career, I take it.
Yeah, it is. It's had a big build-up all week, and a lot of memories of '93, and that was part of it. But just knowing that we could do it, and being part of a winning team, put a lot of effort into it, and I'm sure we'll agree it was a great game of rugby, and a game that we wanted desperately. And at the end of the day, we got the start we wanted, and just a fantastic feeling. And that's 5 out of the way. We've got 1 to go on Saturday, and we're looking forward to playing the Box. Everyone's been telling us ever since I've been here we'll be looking forward to the final between South Africa and New Zealand, but until now, it hasn't been, and we're looking forward to it, and just pleased that this one's out of the way.
We've got to very quickly get on to that man in the number 11 jersey for the All Blacks, Jonah Lomu. 4 tries, and I guess he stamped his impression on the game, within about 60 seconds, or was it 2 minutes at the start?
Yeah, it was, and he got room to move, and that was the idea, and we kept those deficiencies that he's got, we kept those hidden, but he's got a bit of work to do, and he loved it, and it's good to see him running out there. I definitely wouldn't want to tackle. I'm sure Will feel the same way too.
Much was made in the build-up to this game, Sean, about it being a contrast of styles between New Zealand and the way that England play the game. Do you feel in some way now that the expansive game that the All Blacks have promoted since you've been here has been vindicated today? Oh, I don't know. I think England showed that they can play the expansive game too, and they scored tries out wide. Will scored a couple, but it was an enjoyable game, and that's what I play the game for. I play the game to enjoy it, and I've played in a few games that I've enjoyed and a few I haven't, but today was an enjoyable game, and you get forwards hitting rucks and you get good clean ball, and that's what the crowd comes to see. And number 8's kicking drop goals?
Well, he's been trying for a while. I'm sure Will go back to the Lions in '93. He's tried a few there, but yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty demoralising when a number 8 kicks a drop goal from halfway.
And also a lot was made, finally, Sean, about the expected dominance that England were going to have in the line-outs. I guess you'd be pleased the way that Robin and Ian Jones were able to compete, and down the back you guys were able to compete pretty well, even on England's throw. Yeah, well, I'll have to look at the tapes. I wasn't looking at those too much, but yeah, we were just committed, and it was a good game of rugby. I'm not going to get too carried away because we've got another week to go, and
we've got work to do for next week, and I'm sure the South Africans feel the same way, that they've got some work to do. Wouldn't have been the ideal game for them yesterday, but we're looking forward to it. I'm sure the South Africans are too.
Enjoy your celebration, enjoy your victory, and get down to hard work in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, thanks Peter. Thanks.
Well, he's a very tired young man, is Sean Fitzpatrick, speaking there with Peter Williams of Television New Zealand. In respect of the English team, he certainly gave them full praise for their role in the game. Directed at the England captain, Will Carling. Some rather stunned New Zealand supporters. And here is Will Carling with ITV's Jim Rosenthal.
Will Carling, you're managing a wry smile after that, but what a torrid experience that must have been for you and your team.
Yeah, I think we came across a side who played some quite unbelievable rugby in the first 10 minutes. You know, and I think when people play like that, you just got to hang on in, and we did, and we scored some great tries at the end, but they were fairly awesome today.
They hit you very early on with a big punch. How crucial was that?
It was a fairly big punch, number 11. It is. I mean, you give 10 points like that. We didn't give them, but when you go 10 points down, it makes it very hard, and they played some very controlled, disciplined rugby and scored some good tries, and unfortunately, we just couldn't stop them. You know, miss a tackle against a side like that, and they're going to score.
25 points down at one stage. You did come back pretty well towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was, delighted to put a lot of hard work in, just as a squad, not just a 15. And, I wanted them to show a bit of pride that it has not all gone to waste, and I was delighted with the way they did come back and played some great rugby. We were shattered out there, and yet they still kept going. And I think it's a mark of a good side, and one that I'm very proud with. How
do you stop this fellow Lomu?
Well, we didn't come up quite with... It's easy for me to say. We didn't quite come up with a solution today. I'm hoping not to see him again myself, but if we do, I think we'll have to work at that one. He's awesome. He's a freak, and the sooner he goes away, the better.
And just finally, you've got a very important game coming up now in the week, because I think you've got to win it to qualify for the next World Cup tournament.
Yeah, I think so. I think just for our pride, we wanted to win, and we're desperate to come third, not fourth, and so, we'll work very hard, I think, to win that one.
Thanks very much, Will.
Pleasure.
Disappointed captain of the England team. He's talking, of course, about the third place playoff match, which will be England against France at Pretoria next Thursday afternoon. But the big grand final in Rugby World Cup 95 will be New Zealand, and there are some fans. New Zealand against South Africa. And boy, the talk, the discussion has just started here at the World Cup in 1995.